Hello guys and welcome back to Big Brother UK, and today we have some very important questions to answer. How are the nominated housemates feeling when they're facing eviction? Who is going to be going to the party? And the most important question of them all, has Dylan finally put the toilet seat down? Now, before we get into this episode, I just want to say thank you guys very much for the support on these videos. If you're liking what you're seeing, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Do all that YouTube stuff. And yeah, basically just give me any indication that you're enjoying what you're seeing. Now, let's jump straight into the episode. Okay, so we started off the episode with our usual morning montage, and then we get a scene with Hallie and Kerry, and Kerry is sitting there and she is saying that she's worried about the chanting and she's worried that people are going to be sort of negative towards her, and she feels like everything that she's done is authentic and she's only being herself. So if people don't like her for that, then she doesn't really know what to do. I do think that there's an element of performance in Kerry at the moment, but I feel like this week especially we've gotten to see a very different side of her, and it could be argued that she's sort of realised that sort of her behaviour is not good, so she's toning it down. But I almost wonder whether it's the complete opposite, and what we saw before was an enhanced performance, whereas now we're getting to see who the real Kerry is, because she does have some genuinely lovely moments and she is a very funny person. But then there are these moments, as we'll learn later on in the episode, where it just feels a bit off. Something doesn't seem quite right. And I think that's the best way to describe Kerry. Do I want her to be evicted? No, I'd love her to make it to the end, because at the moment she is one of the more interesting and entertaining housemates. But I feel like there's a lot of people who are just aggravated with her in the same way that I'm aggravated with Paul. I would rather Paul left on Friday than any of the housemates nominated, but I can understand why the housemates aren't wanting to get rid of him. Maybe they think that the public like him. They don't. Oh, it's time to talk about the love triangle again, and just the more I watch it, the more I just think that there's so many issues with this triangle at the moment, and as much as I'm really enjoying watching it, I think this is all going to end in tears, and I am not ready for that. Jordan is very much flirting with Matty. Matty's very much flirting with Jordan, and Henry's kind of just stuck in the middle where Jordan's flirting with him, but I feel like Henry doesn't really know where he stands when Matty's around. And I would love nothing more than for Henry to nominate Matty just because he wants his husband back. I think that would be so funny, and I think it would be such a perfect way to sort of sum up this whole situation. I don't really care for Matty. I don't find him very entertaining. I find him just a bit awkward and uncomfortable to watch at times, and I think that's what's stopping me from truly enjoying this love triangle sitch. I think it's just I just don't believe that he likes Jordan. I think he's just playing into it, and that for me is a problem, because I think Jordan is genuinely developing some kind of feelings and he's going to end up getting hurt. There was a point in the episode where Paul was giving sort of an inspirational speech to Dylan, and I was really struggling to work out what he was saying. He has got such a thick accent and he talks so fast that I was picking up every fourth or fifth word. Like, genuinely, I thought I was listening to another language because some of those words were just not intelligible. Is that the word I want to use? Yeah, sure. Can we just evict him, please? Please. Guys, in the house, please. If you're watching this, which you won't be until you leave the house, if you ever do. I doubt you will. But please, please get rid of him. Trish brought up some incredible points today about being stereotyped and about sort of making a first impression and people refusing to move past their first impression of you. I think it's very important that your first impression is a good one. However, if your first impression is a bad one and you make up for that by showing me that you have changed or you are different, then I'm not going to hold you against what I first thought of you. There are many, many friends that I have right now who I didn't necessarily like when I first met them, but through putting the time and effort into knowing them, finding out who they are, they're now some of my closest friends. So I completely agreed with what Trish was saying, and I think it can be very hard to get out of first impressions. And she was also talking about how she feels like she doesn't want to have to fight the other two nominees because everyone's representing a different community. She's representing sort of the I think she said the immigrant black feminist community, and Dylan's representing the disabled community, and Hallie's representing obviously the transgender community. And it does feel a little bit weird that we've got like 3 big advocates for different communities up on the sort of the stand up for eviction. However, I think ITV's done such a good job of casting this series so that everyone's kind of there for some kind of reason, or not everyone's there to represent a community, but a lot of people are representing because they are part of communities that they want to sort of put on a platform so that the general public can see what they're like. I don't know if any of this is making sense. It makes sense in my brain. It might just be a load of waffle, but I completely understood where Trish was coming from. And I gotta say, Trish is in my final 6. I think my final 6 currently is Yinran, Jordan, Henry, Trish, Olivia, Kerry. Am I going to stick with that? Yes, I am. The reason I say that is because I find those 6 the most entertaining in the house. Like Jenkin and Chanel are growing on me slowly. They have their moments where they're really funny, but as a whole, I think if they left, I don't think I'd be as upset as if Kerry left, because Kerry currently is one of the only people that's consistently making me chuckle with just the random shit that she does and the random stuff that she says. It's time to talk about the runway challenge, and the gang was asked to dress up in what looked like white overalls, and then they had to make their way across a runway, but if they hit a wrong sort of spot, then they were slimed or they were shot with paint or something. I think it was paint and not slime, because it looked like it stained the clothing, which was quite interesting. And it was quite funny to see all of them just get absolutely gunked. And I gotta say that they're doing well with the tasks on this series. I find that they're entertaining. They don't take up too much time, which I think is good, and that allows for more sort of house drama to happen, which I really like. So I think they're doing a good job. It's better than like some shows where they spend most of the episode on the task and then there's not enough time to really get to know anyone outside of that. The people who made it to the party were Chanel, Trish, Jordan, Olivia, Dylan, Hallie, I've forgotten people, Matty and Noki. And I think it was interesting how the three nominees for eviction were in the party. Do you know what? Fair enough. They did quite well. The fact that Kerry went after 2 people who made it to the end successfully and just forgot, I felt so bad for her, but also it was quite funny to see her get gunked on one more time. There was a bit of drama after the whole thing when Dylan got straight in the shower and Kerry came through looking like she'd been through the wars, and she had to wait for the shower. Now, I can understand it from both sides. I can understand Dylan was there first, but I can understand from Kerry's point of view that Dylan was not as messy as her. In fact, I might have to go back and have a look, but I didn't see any paint on him at all. Do you know why? Because he got blasted by the dust. So really, he didn't need a shower. Whereas Kerry, it was all in her hair, it was all over her face, it was on her body. Because it's paint, it dries. If it dried in her hair, I can understand why she'd want to get it out while it's still kind of wet. So, again, I can understand it from both sides. I don't think he needs to have a shower then and there, because from the looks of it, he weren't that messy. And Kerry very clearly was. But, I don't know, it's a difficult one. He was there first, and... yeah, it's a tricky one. It is a tricky one, I must say. The party was all right. It wasn't anything special. The dancing was fun. I cannot tell you how much secondhand embarrassment I get from Matty when he's just dancing. Like, genuinely, the amount of cringe I feel when he just starts dancing is unmatched. Jordan was very funny with his dance moves. I don't really think you can call them dance moves, but he was funny with what he did. Yeah, it was just a really entertaining time, and it was nice that they got time to sort of chat and talk as well. And yeah, it seemed like a cool party. They really did well with the sort of staging of it and the way it looked, because it looked like a really cool party room. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I thought it was quite good. I've just been looking at my notes, and it seems like we're already at the iconic quotes and moments, and I'm kind of in shock. I didn't realise that this episode actually didn't have a lot going on in it, which is strange. But anyway, so I would like to start with Olivia in the diary room complaining that the house the house never supported her and Hallie through their jail experience, but they were all there trying to free Yin-Run. And I just thought it was so funny because Olivia was the one that started most of the free Yin-Run stuff. So do you know what? I think Olivia was just trying to be funny in this moment, and it did make me chuckle. Somewhat ironically, but yeah, it did make me chuckle. For some unknown reason, Dylan had a very, very suspicious wet patch around his arse, and watching Chanel dry it with the hairdryer was genuinely one of the highlights of the episode. I did not expect that to be one of the things I wanted to talk about, but clearly it made such an impression on me. There was a moment where Hallie was strutting down the corridor for Kerry, and then I think it was Noki pointed out that she kind of looked like Kerry, and then Hallie put on the glasses, and it was like, which one's Kerry? Genuinely, I don't know whether it's intentional, but like, there's a strong resemblance between Hallie and Kerry when Hallie puts on the glasses, and it's a little bit scary. That's a bit wild, I won't lie. There was a really, really sweet conversation. I don't know whether I can call it sweet. There was a conversation that was a very serious conversation, but was handled very comedically because Jordan has such dry humour. But he was talking about his dad, and he described his dad as a retired heroin addict. And then he went on to say, no, he's dead. That's what makes him retired. And first of all, I choked on my tea. I was drinking tea at the time, and I choked on it because I couldn't believe what had just been said. Like, what on earth do you mean he's a retired heroin addict? What? That's crazy. And then he went on to speak about how he didn't have much contact with his dad. His dad, I think what I got from the conversation is his dad passed away just over 10 years ago, and he never really had a lot of contact with him anyway. So it was just a very interesting conversation that they had. And I just, yeah, bit odd, bit weird, I won't lie. Jenkin talking about Little Mix was definitely one of the highlights of the episode. He was sitting in the diary room and he was like, I can hear it. It's that do 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 do. That's horrendously out of tune, and I'm very embarrassed of myself. But I think they were playing Sweet Melody by Little Mix, and he was like whipping his hair, and he was like, oh, you should have had me in there, and I've been teaching them all the dance. And I thought, why? They missed an iconic moment there. If I'd have seen Jenkin doing the fucking dance for Little Mix, would have lost my shit, because that would have been so funny. And I just blame ITV for not letting him take part in the party. So yeah, there you go, ITV. I blame you. Not you guys. I like you guys because you're watching my videos. But ITV, you And finally, we have the most iconic line of the entire episode, which was Dylan asking anyone if they have any advice for him in a relationship, and Olivia gets up and goes, yeah, put the fucking toilet seat down, and walks off. She will not let that drop, and it's so funny. Like, I'm actually enjoying Olivia more and more every single episode. She started off and I was so done with her straight away. As soon as she got upset over fucking Jenkin nominating her first day, I thought, oh my god, get a grip. The 5Gs, good god girl, get a grip. But she's made a comeback and I'm so proud of her, because who'd have thought it? Like, if it wasn't for Yinrun and Jordan, she'd be up there with my winner picks. Do you know what I mean? She's very entertaining, and I wonder whether it's taken some getting used to in order to really enjoy who she is as a person. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching this. It's a little bit of a shorter episode today because there wasn't a lot going on in the house. There was obviously the runway task, and then there was like a couple of conversations that I didn't find very interesting, or I didn't think were very noteworthy. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff that you guys do so well. I'm loving the overwhelming support from you guys. It's genuinely so nice to know that like I'm actually doing something that's entertaining you guys. I've got people in different countries who are like, I can't watch it because it doesn't stream out here, so watching your videos is sort of keeping me up to date. But one of my friends texted me and was like, oh, I'm on a sort of tour around Europe and I've been watching your videos to keep up with it whilst I'm away. So shout out to you, Bella. And yeah, it's just been such a great experience and a great sort of feedback from everyone. I love hearing everyone's thoughts on the videos. I love hearing everyone's thoughts on the show itself. I like sort of engaging with you guys, so keep that going in the comment section. I'll respond to you. And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and keep on ranting. Bye now.